Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing? I'm just waiting to see if everything is working okay since we are during Mercury retrograde. And I'm trying out something new with audio. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Eileen. How are you guys doing? Hey, Styling Profiling, how are you? Hey, everybody. Okay, so if there's any audio issues, can you guys please let me know in the chat? Yeah, please help me out during Mercury retrograde here. It retrograded back into my 10th house of career and being on a public platform, so we don't need any problems, okay? All right, thank you guys, thank you. So, oh, Chelsea says she's sneaking in to listen at work. Girl, I have been there. I used to do the same thing to listen to people here on Lada's channel. All right, guys. Well, my name is April, and I am an astrologer with astrologer.com. And I am here to do my weekly astrology forecast / coffee talk, where I talk about, well, first of all, I go through the astrology for the week of one Friday to the next. So this is going to be September 1st through September 8th of 2017. And then at the end, I go through some celebrity or public figure discussions. But mostly what I do is I take a look at their natal chart to see what's going on in their world, if they're in the public spotlight right now, you know, just to try to explain some things about these people. So that's what we'll be doing at the end. Hey guys, glad to see you. Hi, Oche. Okay, so this week in Coffee Talk, I'm doing viewer requests. So, hey, I'm just doing what you guys have requested from me. I got a request for covering Cardi B. She's like really big in the spotlight right now. And someone asked, why is she so big right now? Like, why is she blowing up? Like, what's her deal? You know, why is everybody gravitating towards her? Why is she successful right now? That was their question. So regardless of what you think about this young lady, someone wanted me to look at her chart. And also at the last second, I went through last week's Coffee Talk comments to see if you guys had suggested anyone else. And someone said, hey, you know, Louise Hay just passed away. Can you cover her chart in this week's Coffee Talk? And I'm like, aw, of course I can. So I kind of got some info on her at the last second. So I'll be discussing her at the very end too. So Cardi B and Louise Hay, two totally different ladies. I think they're both Libras though. So, you know, maybe there's not too huge of a difference between the two as far as me talking about them today. So we are still, what's going on this week? What's going on? So we're still entering into Virgo season. We are just, you know, entering in. We have the sun there. Mercury was there, but now it just retrograded back into the sign of Leo as of today, I believe. Okay. So Virgo season is coming up. And, you know, all these planets are still in Leo in the last run through Leo. And what's interesting about that is, you guys remember the huge eclipse that everybody made such a big deal about was on August 21st, and that was at 28 degrees of Leo. And so we're going to have Mars and Mercury both hit the eclipse point this coming week. So very interesting stuff, right? So I will talk about those things for every sign. I have September horoscope videos coming up for you guys this weekend, okay? And I will go over Mercury going back over the eclipse point in detail for every sign in each video. But just to briefly mention it, you know, Mercury is communication, it's thinking, and you know, it is sort of like processes of things in a way too, getting things managed and going, you know. And then Mars is the action, like the physical action that we put forth towards those things. So with whatever the eclipse brought to light for you, wherever 28 degrees of Leo lands in your chart, it's going to be brought up again. It's going to be a time to start really initiating those things, actually. And I know Mercury is retrograde, but it's going to come to a standstill next week at that eclipse point, and it's going to be exactly on the 6th of September that it does that. And then it's going to start moving forward at that same point. Okay, yes, Freya, eclipse energy all over again. So if you had any like breakthroughs happen the day of the eclipse or at the exact time of the eclipse, then yeah, you know, these things can be brought to light again. But looking at them from a different perspective maybe, or yeah, just taking more action towards getting them moving, you know. So that's what we are going through right now. And yeah, we are shifting into Virgo season. Like I said, the sun is there. Mars is going to move into Virgo next week on the 6th. So yeah, I will talk about that in detail for every sign during the monthlies as well. But just to touch on Mars and Virgo generally, for all of us, Mars is it's drive, it's aggression, it's anger, but it's like physically how we move around too. And what our energy, like it's a lot of energy, just, you know, like really feeling a lot of it and putting it out there. Okay. So that's Mars and Virgo. And you know, Mars can show the way that we are kind of handling conflict too. Okay. And Virgo energy, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is a mercurial energy, which means it's about talking and speech and thinking and logic and stuff. So the good thing about Mars moving into Virgo is instead of us jumping into action too quickly and not really focusing on not looking before we leap, let's just say that, you know, Mars and Virgo is like you analyze every detail before you leap. Okay, it's making sure that everything is right before you take action. And also, you know, remember Mars, the symbol for it is a circle with an arrow, and wherever it points that arrow, it is what? Oh no. Wherever it points that arrow is what direction it really wants to go. And you know, it's all about getting down to the bottom of things, right? So with that being said, Mars in Virgo is problem solving energy. It's big time problem solving energy. Okay, so we can really be more analytical in our actions before we jump and take them. And that can, some people actually need that. Some people are just way too, woo, you know, jump and fly without thinking. And then they bump their heads. They're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, let's do it again. So this is a lot more logic applied to that. Now, the negative thing about Mars and Virgo is to try to stay away from, you know, people will say all the time, Virgo energy could be very petty. Petty meaning it's here to focus on the details, which is awesome. We need that energy here. We really do need Virgo energy here. No matter how critical it could be, analytical, all that stuff, we need that. If we didn't have that here, we wouldn't have like things that work systematically. Like, you know, the world would not be as cleanly or orderly as a place as it can be. I'm not saying that it is, okay? This world always needs some work, but there wouldn't be so many things in place that help us to function in our daily lives if it weren't for Virgo energy. So it has to be analytical. It has to get down to looking at things at a microscopic point of view. Yes. However, the way not to use this energy, especially because Mars could be like a fighting energy, is being petty. Okay, being petty is a dark side, a darker energy that you can tap into a Virgo, which means you're picking at people, you're pinpointing things about them, you're analyzing them, but you're like picking at them, and it's not really something that's helpful, you know, or something that's really relevant. For an example, you know, just being on a public platform and having peers on this public platform, you know, sometimes I go back and I look at comments and stuff, you know, just for support, like to maybe comment on a peer's video, or I look at my comments sometimes because I ask you guys to give me suggestions about people to talk about. But I notice not just with us on this platform, but I watch a lot of YouTube. Okay, you guys already know that about me. I watch a lot of YouTubers. I love YouTube. And it's just amazing to me how people will just point out something about someone's appearance or something totally irrelevant to whatever it is they're speaking about. You know, it's like, who asked you for your criticism? You know what I mean? Like, people talk about, why are your teeth like that? Why do you talk like that? Why do you laugh like that? Why do you, what, you know, something about the way that they, like, it's pretty much your personal, like your demeanor. okay? Like your characteristics as a person, your personality, your facial features, anything. It's like things that you can't really help. Mars and Virgo energy can pull more people in that direction on a negative side to like pinpointing little details about people, and you know, they could be totally irrelevant. This energy is supposed to be used for solving problems, helping to resolve issues, you know. So and keep in mind with Virgo season and Virgo energy, yeah, it could be very critical, analytical, but don't waste your time analyzing and criticizing or whatever, being critical of the wrong things, you know, because it can get really zoned in and in this microscope view of things to where important details are totally like missed because you're so focused in this one negative area. You know, that energy can get us down sometimes because we see all this stuff in the world that needs to be fixed. We see problems and it can really weigh you down heavily, you know? So that's what's not to do with the Virgo energy. You know what I'm saying? And one reason why I really love astrology and love teaching astrology is because it helps people. Let me tell you guys something. I have 6th house energy in my chart, which is similar to Virgo. It corresponds to Virgo. And I used to be very critical like that of people and of myself. And I'm not saying I'm perfect now or anything, but I'm learning astrology helped me to calm that down big time and just understand, instead of asking people, why do you look like that? Why do you, or, you know, like thinking that in my mind, like, why do they dress like that? Why this? Why? You know what? Astrology helps to show you why. Maybe a person has like Uranus conjunct their sun and that's why they dress funky. Maybe they're a really highly Neptunian person and that's why they're a little spacey when they talk. Or, you know, maybe they have Mercury conjunct Uranus, so maybe they may bust out in laughter like sporadically or something here and there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about those things instead of focusing in on, oh, well, why? And okay, instead of like picking at someone, maybe go and think to yourself, well, with astrology, maybe it's because of their Mercury position, maybe because of their moon position, they speak differently, they think differently, whatever, you know? So, yeah, true. Yeah, so next time you have those questions in your head when you're analyzing someone, think about what could be in their natal chart. If you're here, you're a fan of astrology, and maybe you're an astrology student, you know, or maybe an astrologer yourself. And just, you know, during Virgo season, don't focus on those really petty details about people in negative ways. Just focus on like, what can you like make better in your own world, in your own life? Okay, like how can you organize your world? How can you put more like things to work more efficiently in your world? What can you do to change your schedule, like to make your life better? Bettering life is what Virgo energy is really here for. Okay, it can be so beautiful when it's here for that. All the other stuff, you know, just, yeah, try not to tap into that, guys, because I've seen a lot of it on social media already. Or why can't people spell correctly? Especially when Mercury goes back into Virgo, people are going to be saying, why can't people spell? Well, maybe their Mercury sign is in Aries or something that's more quick to type or text or write and or speak, to where that's not really a big concern of theirs based on their Mercury or their moon in Aries or something, you know? So just try to keep the critical stuff under control during Virgo season, guys. And when Mars is in Virgo, try not to have those fighting words in a petty way, okay? Just use it to solve problems. Get down to the bottom of things that are necessary, okay? And also Mars in Virgo, since it's our action, Virgo energy could be a little nervy, to be honest. It can be a little nervy and uptight. And you know what's funny is when I used to work in accounting, that's a very Virgo field, right? It's such a Virgo environment. And I could pick up on the energy of people around me, and pretty much everybody had some dash of Virgo. If I didn't know their birthday, I felt the energy from them. Myself and this Virgo lady, I didn't know her birthday, but I know she's a Virgo. She had, oh, I forgot to show you guys my coffee cup today, but Here's mine today. Hello, gorgeous, because we're back into Mercury and Leo. Okay, with Mars. So we've got Leo energy still going on. But this lady, her coffee cup said, I love spreadsheets. And I was like, this lady's a Virgo somewhere. But I'm sure she had Mars in Virgo, and she and I both had the same nervous walk because I have Mars in the 6th house, okay? So that's like the same thing as Mars in Virgo. So we would always almost bump into each other from walking around nervously to go to the kitchen to get more tea or coffee or whatever. So the Mars and Virgo energy can be a little nervy, guys. So just be aware of that. But Virgo energy is about health, though. It is about health. So maybe, just maybe, applying the Mars energy into that a little more. Not stressing about your health, not being a hypochondriac and going way too far with the health, but energetically, like applying that nervy energy to exercise, you know, to move around for the sake of your health, okay? Or cleaning. Hey, Virgo energy, it loves cleaning, it loves organizing. So apply the Mars and Virgo energy towards those things. Like, I'm looking forward to it because this is the home energy for me, okay? So cleaning and organizing around your house or around your office, your work area, or if someone in your family needs help with organizing stuff, you know, or projects. Virgo energy is really good with projects. Like, managing a project, doing it in, you know, because the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, which is super creative. It can just channel this magical energy down from Neptune and just do things. But the Virgo energy, it can be creative too, okay? Don't forget, we've got creative Virgos that are very widely well known. Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and so on, okay? So Virgo energy can be creative, but it's very detailed and organized with its creativity. So doing some sort of creative projects, okay, is really good with Mars and Virgo. Projects to fix things. Any type of fixer-upper project that you can get your hands on, whether that be if you can fix vehicles, fix things around your house. I, as a Mars in the 6th house person, I am weird and I like untangling jewelry, like untangling necklaces. So do something like that, you know, a little project to do that or help somebody else do it. So, yeah. Oh, and Oche says that she just tidied her inbox of one of her major emails. Yes. So Virgo energy can be applied towards that too. Just cleaning up things, cleaning things out. And that's the positive way to use the energy, guys. So that's Mars moving into Virgo on the 6th. And like I said, I will go through every sign once your September videos come out, as far as how it affects everyone. All right. So also on the 6th, the 6th is a big day, right? Actually, I think Mars moves into Virgo on the 5th. I think I wrote that down incorrectly. Sorry about that, guys. I think it's on the 5th that Mars goes into Virgo. But on the 6th, we have sound engineers are Virgos, Tosha. Yes, that is so true. You know what? My oldest son is a moon in Virgo, and that's exactly what he does. He is working towards being a sound engineer. That's what career he wants. So awesome, awesome. So yes, now we're going to talk about on the 6th, there's a full moon in the sign of Pisces at 13 degrees of Pisces. And this is really interesting because it's in a conjunction with Neptune. And I will go through all the signs for this. I got to go through all the signs for something on Coffee Talk. Okay, so I picked the full moon. I'll talk about it in the September horoscopes too, but you know, I got to give you guys something this Friday. So the full moon, wow, in Pisces. Okay, so the symbolism of it, just generally speaking, before we get into all the signs of the full moon in Pisces. Okay, so what does Pisces energy represent? Pisces energy Pisces energy along with Neptune and Pisces, the full moon in Pisces along with Neptune there. What does that mean for us as a collective? Okay, so this energy is about compassion and caring for your fellow beings, not just humans, but also animals, also plants, anything that's living, breathing in any kind of way. That's Pisces energy. Pisces energy is animal loving energy. So is Virgo. Remember, this is a full moon, so it affects both Virgo and Pisces. The sun's in Virgo, the moon is in Pisces. Okay. And yeah, both of those energies, how can they meet in the middle? So like I said, caring for fellow beings, the care of them. Pisces has the intuitive, empathetic, compassionate, lovey-dovey feeling care of fellow beings, but Virgo is the duty, doing the duties to take care of fellow beings, like being a nurse. Pisces can be a nurse too. Being a nurse, nursing someone back to health, for example. Taking care, you know, I noticed both of those energies are good with caring for animals. Pisces really cares about animals like on a heart and soul level. Virgo really just likes animals too. And they're really good at caring for them. Like the daily routines and care that you give to animals, Virgo is really good with that. Virgo rules small pets. Pisces rules other pets, exotic pets, bigger, larger pets. And you remember last week we talked about Michael Jackson. His birthday just passed. And he had both the Pisces and the Virgo energy very strong in his chart. And he had animals from small to big, you know. So both energies are totally about animals. So, you know, putting that into mind when it comes to this full moon, caring for beings, fellow beings, okay, being very gentle, loving, and nurturing towards fellow beings of all sorts, okay. Being in a conjunction with Neptune, this gives a very dreamy spiritual aspect to the full moon. Indeed, it does. And Pisces energy is not only about empathy and caring and stuff, but it's also, you know, it's also creativity, like divine creativity. I'm talking creativity that you just channeled down from like outer space. Literally, Neptune is one of those planets of like the creativity that's more like acting or actually any type of creativity. Because listen, if you're a creative person, you know what I'm talking about. And this is my natal moon, so this is coming from a first person perspective. When you're a creative person, especially if you have Piscean energy, Neptune, 12th house, very strong, that creativity gets you into a zone. You have to get into a specific zone in order to really do your best, right? To give your best and display your best. And this is the same energy, creativity and spirituality. They're all the same thing, like connection to a higher source through any of those things. You know, they're very much related. So you get into a zone to be creative. It is, and meditation, same thing. For some people, creating is meditation for them. I know it is for me. I just have too much nervy energy to sit still and meditate. You know, I told you guys, Mars in the 6th house, it's like Mars in Virgo. I'm like, oh, I got to be doing something all the time. But as a lunar Piscean, that's my meditation, is creativity. So it's all about finding that type of inner peace. Whether you can meditate, guided meditation, self-meditation by sitting there in silence, or, you know, some sort of activity that you can do, because this is Virgo energy involved too. That means doing something that puts you in that zone, in that meditative like state, to where you do feel connected to a higher power and there's no boundary between you and that power, you know? So I feel like the full moon in Pisces is about that stuff. It's bringing that out. The last time we had a moon in Pisces, I believe it was when we had an eclipse. I know I should have checked. You know, I'm all about having exact dates and stuff, but this just came to me right now. We had a moon in Pisces, an eclipse in Pisces earlier this year. So wherever Pisces lands in your chart, whatever that eclipse brought to you or for you earlier this year, maybe brought back up to the surface again to be looked at from a different perspective and addressed in a different perspective. And I did a special video on that earlier this year. And I talked about some things that are not as favorable, not as pleasant about Pisces energy. And yeah, I kind of got a lot of backlash about that too. But you guys, a lot of you have been watching me for months now. You know, I try my best to give two sides of the story, both sides of the coin, the good and the bad possibilities with every sign, every energy, every aspect, every transit, everything. So the Pisces energy, with there being a full moon here, you know, it can be about, excuse me, about releasing and letting go of negative ways that we escape from the everyday stuff that we do, because Virgo rules the everyday stuff that we do, right? The stuff that we can get a little nervous about, we can kind of freak out about, you know, and always feel like we have to be busy, 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 busy. Pisces is the escape from that. So this can be looking at how you escape. How do you escape? You know, do you do the healthy things or do you do unhealthy things? This is a really good full moon, guys, also for anybody, for letting go of a bad habit that's bad for your health, physically, emotionally, spiritually, any type of way, okay? Because physical health is Virgo and the other types of health are Pisces. So yeah, it's that tension there, that axis is being highlighted. So this is a really good time for, and of course I'm no doctor, okay? So if your body can't handle a detox, don't do it. But just a general suggestion, anything you can do to detox, to cleanse your soul, your spirit, your body, your environment around you, even a good deep cleaning around your house, okay? Or your office area, wherever it is you spend the most time. This is a good full moon for that. Also, Pisces energy is about being charitable. So being charitable, giving, donating. And I know there's a disaster here in the US right now that everybody is buzzing about. There was a hurricane in Texas. So people are trying to figure out ways to give, to support, you know, because of that unfortunate event. Donate. So even if it's not that, but just donating around, you know, to a Goodwill or something, like getting rid of old stuff around your house. I always recommend that with any type of like 12th house or Piscean transits. It's really good for that, because whether you want to believe it or not, you know, material items, they can hold emotional value. They can hold memories. They can hold energy. Okay. So if you have anything like that hanging around that's really not good for you, it doesn't resonate with you and your lifestyle anymore, get rid of it during this full moon. It's really good time to do that too. Okay. Kim says, what about burning sage? Yes, burning sage, any type of ritualistic things that you guys have to relax, to cleanse, to clear your energy, to clear your mind. Do those things. Whether you work with crystals, you work with stones, you work with sage burning, you work with meditation, you work with spiritual advisement, any of that stuff. Hey, David, how you doing? Yes, all of those things are really good to do. Well, just, I mean, whenever you feel like it's necessary in general, but just talking about this full moon on that Pisces Virgo axis, it's about cleanliness. Okay, so it's a really good time to do that. That energy is very strong for release. You know what I mean? Yeah, David said, what about chakra clearing? Yes, chakra clearing. Oh, so good for a moon in Pisces. And you know, that conjunction to Neptune is that connection to higher source of love and power and energy that you believe in. So anything that you can do to tap into that. I'm just getting like the chills thinking about it, about how awesome that is. Anything that you could do, whatever resonates with you, do it. Okay, do it during this full moon. Now let's go through all the signs for the full moon in Pisces and see how it's going to affect all of you guys. And once again, if you're just joining, I will be having September horoscope videos come out this weekend, and I've got something special for everybody for the month of September. Okay, so stay tuned for those videos. But I am going to do the full moon today for every sign. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. Let me take a sip of water and look at the chat before I get into all the signs. Hopefully that wasn't too loud with me drinking, because I do have a microphone on me, but it's hidden. It's like a secret ninja Scorpio microphone. All right. Yes, Kim, try that sage. Yes, David. The stones during chakra meditation, I've done that before, and it absolutely does help. It does work. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. So now the full moon in Pisces on the 6th of September, 2017 for all the signs. How is it going to affect everybody? Okay. So first of all, we start with Aries, of course, and Aries is the first sign, and this means that Pisces full moon is going to be in your 12th house, and it's going to be on the axis of the 12th and the 6th. Okay, so for you guys, it's double, because you guys are the first sign on the wheel. So anytime we talk about the houses, we talk about the signs, like it goes in order for you guys, okay? Like exact order. So with that being said, this is your 12th house and 6th house axis, Pisces and Virgo. Emotional and spiritual and escapism versus everyday life and work and health, physical health, okay? So this is really going to be everything that I explained for the general explanation of the full moon in Pisces. It really applies to you guys, double Aries people. And I know Aries is a very active energy, and Mars is going to enter Virgo too at the same time. So you guys can feel like a more of a surge of like nervousness, nervy energy, like you always have to be doing something, fixing something, doing something. But the full moon is going to tell you, relax, relax, Aries. Find a way to relax. Find a way to retreat away from the world, even if it's for a day. Spending alone with yourself and really digging deep into your mind about anything, you know, about just how you can better your life pretty much, yeah, how you can better your life. But with balancing out things between that axis though, to where you're not being hyperactive, hypercritical, hyper analytical. You know, and how I explained earlier about the Virgo energy, the negative side of it can be like petty nitpicking at people for like irrelevant reasons. And Pisces energy is the opposite. It's like, can we all just get along? You know, I only see the souls of people. I don't see any of that physical stuff, you know. So maybe it could be a lesson in that too as well, Aries, to be more accepting of other people instead of critical, you know. It could be something to do with that. But also it could be maybe some Aries people may have to let go of something within their life, the way they live their life, their job or everyday schedule, everyday routine that is not really helpful for them. Like maybe it's good time for you guys to take a really detailed look, Aries, at what you do on a day-to-day basis, what you do when you wake up, what time do you wake up? When you wake up in the morning, do you grab your phone first thing in the morning, which could be a bad habit for some of us? Or do you get up, do you stretch, do you pray, do you meditate, do you know, those types of things. Okay, so it's all about a balance between the two, implementing spiritual things that are good for your emotional and spiritual health into your daily routine as well. So that's for Aries people. Oh, also Aries, it could be you guys letting go of a job. Okay, could be you guys letting go of a job too. If a job is too stressful, it's bad for your health. It's bad for your spirit. Some of you guys could say, I can't take it anymore, and let's let go. Okay. And now on to the sign of Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, or ascendant, the full moon in Pisces on the 6th of September. It's going to be on the axis of your 11th and 5th houses. So for Taurus people, you know, the moon is going to be in your 11th, which deals with networking with people, connecting with all different kinds of people. And this can be like on a public platform, you know, because the 11th house rules the internet. It's the interwebs of people that you're connected to and connected with. Okay, so that's the 11th house. And the opposite end is the 5th house, which is all about being an individual and doing your own individual things, your own individual projects. So this can be something, some kind of decision that's brought to you, Taurus people, in regards to being an individual versus being a part of a group or an organization, or doing some creative things on your own versus maybe doing some with a group of people. Maybe some Taurus people, and I'm a Taurus sun, so I can vouch for this personally. Some of us could be so stubborn that we only want to do things for ourselves on our own, okay, instead of asking for the help of other people. So it could be a lesson in that, Taurus, all right? Some of us, we want to stand on our own 2 feet and put ourselves out there to shine and do it on our own. But really, maybe we can benefit from collaborating with other people, which is the 11th house, okay? Also, this can be groups of people, like maybe a separation from one of them, okay? Like maybe it's time for you to do the opposite, which is separate yourself from a group and go off on your own to do your own thing. Because also Mars is up there in Virgo at the same time. So actually Mars is in Virgo in your 5th house, okay? So this is taking action towards doing your own creative hobbies and stuff that you want to do to boost up your own image and your own self-esteem. And then there's other people, you know, that maybe want you to collaborate with them and stuff. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe there could be a group situation that you're in and you find that it no longer resonates with you. Maybe they're on a different mission. They have a different message to spread, or it could be friends. Like maybe you're just finding out that your friends are not really who you thought they were. You're on a different path than they are now. Okay. So maybe you need to exit and start doing your own thing, which is the 5th house where that moon is. Or I'm sorry, hold on a second. Where the sun is at. Sorry about that. Woo, you know I'm a Pisces moon, and yes, that's why I space out sometimes, okay? The sun is in the 5th house, okay? The sun and Mars are there, all right? Maybe this is more of an emphasis on your children rather than being social, okay? The 11th house is a very social house, all right? So that's what it could be bringing to my Taurus people, okay? Next up is Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, or ascendant. How is a full moon in Pisces going to affect you guys? So this is happening on the axis of your 10th and 4th houses. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we got the moon and Neptune and Pisces up there in your 10th house of career. And we've got the sun at the bottom of your chart, the sun and Mars together actually, in the sign of Virgo, which is in your 4th house. So this is, wow, this is really like taking care of home versus being a career person versus being somebody who's out there in the world, concerned with your public image or whatever. So yeah, this can be a time for some Geminis. Maybe you guys have to make a decision regarding career that affects your home life. Like maybe you guys get an awesome new career opportunity. Maybe you have to let go of some sort of career aspirations too. Because Neptune can be a dissolving energy. So maybe it's a dissolvement of what you thought you wanted to do for a living. Okay. And in return, it's like maybe your family needs more of your time and your support. But then, you know, there's this career stuff. So it's that axis is being affected. Maybe some of you guys get an opportunity to move abroad or to move further away with your career. And in return, or it's like, you know, you get an opportunity in another country or another state, somewhere kind of further away than where you are now. And then that 4th house where the sun is at, it's like, okay, guys, now it's time to move. Let's move for this greater opportunity. Okay. Thank you, Style and Profiling. Love you too. Okay. Yeah. So Gemini, it is about your career, your home. And there's definitely going to be a change there. Or maybe where you live, there's not much opportunity for career advancement. So you move because of that, to seek it out, you know? So it's either it seeks you out, it finds you, or you like seek it out to find you. Okay. This can also be with family, like parental figures, like something to do with having a better relationship with them, for an example, Gemini. Okay. So, yeah. It really is about that stuff for Gemini. It's all about career. It's all about family and home. And it may be a decision that's not very easy for you guys. You know, I know a lot of Gemini rising people, and I have a couple close to me, and I have a client or two that are Gemini rising, and they're really going through some sort of like divorces, you know, family crisis and stuff. And they got to make some decisions to move, or to let go of the home that they once lived in with another person that they're separating from. And, you know, just, you know, it could be an end to some of those heavy things, or to help to usher in something new with that situation for Gemini people. So good luck to you guys. So Cancer, sun, moon, or ascendant. This full moon in Pisces is happening in your 9th house, the 9th and 3rd house axis. So for you guys, the sun is in your 3rd house in Virgo, and the moon is in your 9th house in Pisces, the moon and Neptune together. So this has to do with, you know, the 3rd house, I call it the around the way. Okay. This is your area, your little neighborhood, your town. And then the 9th house is further away. It's countries, states, cities that are like far away from you, that are foreign to you. Okay. A lot of Cancer people that I know, they like to stick to around the way. They like to stay within their same neighborhood, their same state or city. Maybe they want to stay close to family. But this full moon is telling you, maybe you guys should consider maybe not moving far away, because I know that will really make some Cancers like anxious and stuff, but maybe actually having an opportunity to travel further away to broaden your horizons. Because when you only stay around the way in your little bubble in your neighborhood, that's all you know. That's all you know. You don't really typically don't really know too much more about the world and other types of people and stuff. So this full moon may be telling you guys, Cancer, to get out and explore, okay? Get out and explore. Even if it's not another country, if that's too far for you, Cancer, or another state, maybe another city, like in a different part of the state or what region that you live, you know, get out, explore, maybe even still around the way, but go somewhere that you've never been before. Okay, Cancers love food, so maybe go to a different restaurant, go to like some sort of festival or something, like a cultural festival, like just something different, Cancer. Get out and do that, explore. Neptune is a very dreamy energy. So, and Neptune also rules faraway lands too, okay? So it's really calling you to explore the world a little bit more, Cancer. And yeah, you know, maybe still, like I said, doesn't say, oh, you got to move away from all your family and abandon everybody that you're comfortable with. No, no, no. Still stay around the way. That's the sun in the third house, but have an opportunity, at least a temporary one, to get out, okay? To get out. Get out and do something different, you guys. Travel, yes. Judith's saying she's a Cancer ascendant, hasn't traveled in months and feels trapped. This full moon is telling you, you need to travel, girlfriend, okay? All right. So next up is Leo. Leo, sun, moon, or ascendant. How's the full moon in Pisces affecting you guys? This is happening in your 8th house. So the 8th and 2nd house axis. Interesting. So for Leo people, this is all about your money. Okay, this is all about money for Leos. Ooh, okay. So listen, Leo, Virgo season is going to really light up your 2nd house of earned income and money. So that's where like the biggest focus is going to be. But before we get to all of that stuff, before all the other planets start ingressing into Virgo and everything, well, the 8th house is where the full moon is going to be at. And this is conjunct Neptune. And once again, Neptune could be like a dissolvement of something, you know? So this could be a dissolvement of some joint financial venture that you have with another person, Leo. This could be either a relationship partner or a business partner. There's just maybe something that you have to maybe let go of, you know? Or for some Leos, this could be some sort of, what's it called? Income, supplementary income, passive income. Like maybe you've been kind of just chilling, you know, not really working or anything, just having support from family or from the government or from some sort of money that's a passive income. And now all this energy in your 2nd house, Leo, is calling you to work. Okay, get to work, Leo. You guys can certainly work some things. Okay, so this full moon may be telling you to let go of that, any dependency you have on others for money, or even a collaboration when it comes to money, you know, that's maybe you got to, like a divorce, or you guys got to separate from somebody in some kind of way. Let that go and focus on your own money, Leo, okay? Like you stacking up your money, you saving money, you earning money, just really going after it, working overtime, all that stuff to get things going for your own self. Self-sustainability financially is what this full moon is all about. But also the 8th house rules intimacy. So this could be you. This could be the universe telling you, Leo, that you guys may be so focused on money and stuff, making money, that you haven't really had time to have a really nice intimate experience with someone. It doesn't have to be the hanky-panky bang-bang boogie, okay? I'm saying really connecting with someone on a soul level, having deep conversations with them, and just really zoning out with them, talking about aliens and like conspiracy theories and out there beliefs and the occult. You know, this can be a good time to tap into some occult stuff and just like talk to people about them, you know, talk to somebody on an intimate level that you can trust to talk about that stuff without them thinking that you're crazy, Leo. Okay. So a really great intimate experience that takes you away, like mentally, physically, spiritually. It could be calling you to do that too. Okay. So that's it for Leos. Now on to Virgo. Virgo, this full moon in Pisces. Ooh, for you guys, Virgo, sun, moon, or ascendant, this is on the axis of your 1st and 7th houses, which is you versus other people. It doesn't necessarily mean Virgos are going to be fighting with people, okay? Although it can happen because Mars is in your sign, Virgo. And full moons bring tension. Whee! So try not to tap into that negative energy, Virgo, okay? That's too intense to where you just fight and have a fight with someone. Or maybe some of you do have to stand up for yourselves, and it may cause a disagreement, but and maybe a separation, but maybe it might be necessary though, okay? So, you know, maybe it might be necessary to kind of, you know, fight through some stuff. And it may be that you don't necessarily have, maybe you have to cut off a relationship with somebody because of it, you know, but it might be necessary. And Virgos, oh my gosh. So Virgos, you guys have really been going through it over the last several years with Chiron in your 7th house, with Neptune in your 7th house. So a lot of you guys have attracted like some toxic type of people to you. People who are moochers, people who take your kindness for weakness, people who take advantage of the fact that you're very caring. You always want to fix people. You want to make sure people are okay. And then you can have these people that are very Neptunian. They just kind of float and just mooch off of people, drain you and all that stuff. Maybe it might be time to cut that relationship off if that applies to you and you're a Virgo, okay? Also, this full moon, it may bring things to a final decision when it comes to a relationship, like maybe starting all over with a relationship, starting a relationship that's new, or maybe having a new chapter in an existing relationship. And Mars in your sign will give you the action to apply towards it. Mars is not just action, guys. It's also passion, okay? Like having a passion for something and just, you just want to go after it. So this could be being very passionate, and maybe you've had your eye on somebody, Virgo, and now it's like, you know what? I'm a Virgo. Virgos are usually kind of shy, generally speaking, about Virgo. But now Mars is here. Mars is giving me the energy to say, you know what? I'm not going to be shy. I really like this person. I think we should take it to the, you know, the next level. Maybe I could take them to the movies or something. You know, we can get something going. So I'm just going to go after it and take my chances. Okay, so it's all about relationships with Virgo people. Just really try not to have things come to such a head, which the full moon can bring things to where you are having like a really angry outburst, an argument with somebody that's totally unnecessary. Okay, so that was it for Virgo. So for Libra, sun, moon, or ascendant, how is the full moon in Pisces affecting you guys? So Libras, this is on the axis of your 6th and 12th houses. Okay, so the same as your opposite sign, which is Aries, this is all about your well-being, your overall well-being, your health, your spirit, your soul, your body, your emotional self, all that stuff. So Libras, this may be a time for you guys to let go of some bad habits too, okay? Because the moon, the full moon, and Neptune are in your 6th house. So changing your diet. Some Libras, you guys may be changing your diet. I have a sister-in-law who's a Libra rising, and she's actually, because you know, we build up to the full moon, right? We build up to it. And she's made a decision to start changing her diet to one that's, I think it's kind of vegan. I don't know. I've just been seeing the pictures she's posting on Instagram of like these healthy meals and stuff, you know? And they don't have any dairy or meat. So I'm like, I'm going to have to get with her on that. So yeah, she's working, building up towards this full moon in the 6th house of making some changes, trying out these new recipes and stuff, testing them out to see if she can go along with that type of a diet. So it could be that, it could be diet, it could be making a decision to work out and exercise more. It could be also like something to do with work, like maybe letting go of a job, because this is a moon conjunct Neptune, and Neptune can dissolve things away. So if you're working at a job, Libra, that's bad for your health, bad for your spirit, just let it go. Maybe time for that. Or maybe you guys have been wanting a new job that is creative or spiritual, or it's just more true to you and your true self, and you could be accepted there for who you are. And this is happening in your 6th house of work. So maybe if you've been looking for a job, this could be a great job opportunity for some Libras too. But yes, don't forget about the 12th house where the sun is at, Libra, okay? Because there's going to be a lot, even after the full moon, there's going to be more energy entering in that 12th house, and it's going to be a big focus. So it's really about taking care of yourself, taking care of yourself. If there's toxic people, get rid of them. Toxic habits, jobs, situations you're in, whatever, just get rid of them, Libra. So best of luck to you guys, Libra. So on to Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, or ascendant. How is the full moon in Pisces going to affect you guys? So this is happening on the axis of your 5th and 11th houses. So the same as your opposite sign Taurus, this could be a decision that involves you versus a group. And it doesn't have to be fighting. Once again, although Mars is up there in the group house, really try to avoid those fights with people on the internet, the disagreements within groups of friends that you're involved with, or people that you have a common cause or that you do projects with. Really try to avoid that conflict. And like, you know, Scorpio energy, we can be very take charge people a lot of times. You know, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I totally get it. This situation, this full moon can actually call you to be in a more of a leadership role within a group though, especially if it's like creative stuff that you guys do. But don't just go barging in, you know, and causing all kinds of ruckus or whatever, because you may think one way is the right way, you know, stuff like that. You know how we do sometimes, Scorpio. You know we can do that. But so try to keep the conflicts to a minimum. Try to keep the, you know, that too much of that Mars energy towards other people on the internet or your friends or whatever groups of people to a minimum. And also the 5th house energy, it is calling for us to stand up though, you know, to not necessarily, you know, that old saying, you're on your soapbox, which is like you're standing up there, you're bragging like, I'm so great. And maybe you're not really deserving of that. Try not to do that with the full moon in the 5th, but what it's calling you to do is definitely tap into your creativity, to your leadership abilities, and see how you can balance them out. You know, do some stuff on your own, but still like dedicate some time to a group activity. Or, you know, this is also the house of your children. Okay, so maybe your children may have some new breakthrough in their lives. You know, maybe they may need you more, like they may need more of your support. They have something emotional that they're going through. And that reminds me, I'm a Pisces moon and a Scorpio rising, so this applies to me too. And I had a dream a couple nights ago that my oldest son was crying, and he was saying that his heart was broken, and it had something to do with a friend, a friendship or something. So I'm like, wow, maybe the build up to this full moon, and he's a Pisces rising. So I really tap into him. Whenever there's something going on with him emotionally, I always have a dream that he's telling it to me. So this could be some situation. Maybe he might really need the support of his mommy, you know, with this full moon in the 5th house for me. So some of you other Scorpios may have something that you go through like that. Like your kid really needs you on an emotional level, your children, if you have children. But yeah, this could be a really good time to establish something creative and put it out there, like on social media or, you know, somewhere where everybody can see it and lots of different people can experience it, Scorpio. If you've been working on some creative stuff, interesting. I better take my own advice. So yes, creativity, children, and groups of people are the biggest focuses for Scorpio people for the full moon. So Sagittarius, this is happening in the full moon for Sag, sun, moon, or rising. This is happening on the axis of your 4th and 10th houses. Okay, so for you guys, this is also some big home life changes that are also maybe career is in the mix too, okay? So with the full moon, you know, happening in your 4th house, this could be a releasing, a letting go of something to do with your family. And I don't want that to scare you guys and think, oh my God, my family. No, I mean like, you know, the 4th house, it also rules your past, like your early childhood years, your upbringing, your early upbringing. So maybe it could be a letting go of something that you're holding on to. And Neptune and Pisces are also about forgiveness, guys. I forgot to mention that. And that's very important for one of the people that I'm going to talk about in Coffee Talk, okay? Pisces energy, Neptune energy is about forgiveness. So maybe it could be a forgiveness of something or someone from your early upbringing, okay? This can also be maybe like your family may need you a little bit more. And I know Sagittarius, you guys have Saturn in your sign calling you to work hard, to be responsible, and, you know, do all this hardcore stuff and really serious stuff in life. But the full moon is going to call you to not forget about your family, to not forget about your family, okay? Don't forget about home. And then, you know, we've got the sun in Virgo. We've got all these other planets moving into Virgo, which is your 10th house of career. So you guys are going to be very career-oriented people, okay? And then all this Virgo stuff is going to square your ascendant. It's going to eventually square Saturn in your sign. So it's really going to be a challenge for you guys to maintain that healthy balance of being a career person, being all serious, you know, having a serious role and responsibility out there in the world, but still take care of your family. So you guys may also move or have to move or something to do with career too. Maybe you guys have taken on like this major role in your life that has to do with career. And then maybe you're called to move overseas, or, you know, because Neptune rules the seas and the oceans. So maybe overseas or far away, you guys move for career, for the sake of career. Maybe you're not doing so well in the career that you're in and there's not much opportunity and you want to move to find it. Or maybe that opportunity finds you and in return, maybe you get to move, okay? So that could be awesome for you guys. So yes, it's definitely about the home life, the family, the early childhood, as well as your career for Sagittarius people. So for Capricorn, sun, moon, or ascendant, how is the full moon in Pisces affecting you guys? So this is on the axis of your 3rd and 9th houses, okay? So this is all about the 3rd house is communication, all right? It's communication. And then also the 9th house is education, like furthering your education. And remember, the 3rd house is also around the way, and the 9th house is like far away, okay? Like other states, cities, countries, whatever. So this is maybe calling you guys to put a little bit more attention to around the way, the people around your way, your siblings, your cousins, normally speaking, okay? That's what it usually traditionally represents, siblings and cousins and neighbors, okay? Or it could be co-workers, just people that you see on a day-to-day basis are found in the 3rd house that you communicate with. This is also small groups that you belong to. This is also blogging and like the process of blogging and writing, okay? And then the 9th house is like the publishing of things. So if any Capricorns have been wanting to do anything like that, publishing things, getting some blogging or vlogging or things like that started, this full moon can definitely help you with that, especially because there's creative Neptune in the mix here, okay? But also this could be about traveling too. This could be asking you guys to just get around your area a little bit more, around your neighborhood, around your city, and get out and explore. Try some new things, do some new things, go to some new places, you know? So that could be pretty awesome for Capricorn people. This could also mean a change in the lives of one of your siblings. If you have any siblings, you have cousins or whatever, a change in your relationship with them or a change within their life. But it's all about maintaining a balance, remember? So a balance between being somebody who is like out there in the world and everything, and also someone who, you know, is concerned with the relationships that they have with the day-to-day people that they deal with as well. So that's it for Cap. All right, so now to Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. How is the full moon in Pisces affecting you guys? So this is happening on the axis of your 2nd and 8th houses. Okay, so for you guys, this is also money for Aquariuses, okay? Just like your opposite sign, Leo. So the moon is going to be in your 2nd house, and the sun is going to be up there in your 8th house. And then all this other Virgo energy is going to be going in there to your 8th house over the course of the next month. So I would say that's where the biggest focus is, the longer term focus. And, you know, you guys, the 2nd house is how you earn your money by a job, right? By your own means, by you working and working hard, okay? So there could be a breaking point that's brought to you to make a decision to maybe get a 2nd job or let go of a job that you already have. And it's also your value and your worth. So maybe some of you Aquarians are not being paid well enough within a job, and you really need to like stand up about that, you know, and maybe try to get a raise or something, you know, just get paid your worth, okay? It's about how you value yourself. And you know what? You guys have had Neptune there in your 2nd house for years. So a lot of Aquarians, even though, hey, look, Aquarians, you guys have a reputation, a bad rep for being cold and unfeeling. But when Neptune is in the second house, this is a time when people can actually be a lot more selfless and giving themselves away, like giving your time away. You can let people take advantage of you a lot easier, unfortunately. So a lot of Aquarians have been like really just, you know, very selfless in the last several years, more selfless than usual. So a lot of you guys can have this full moon say, you know what, maybe there's a breaking point that needs to be brought to where you put up boundaries between yourself and others, okay? Because also the 8th house, which is highlighted, it is involvement with other people too. Okay, so it could be that maybe you've, in the 8th house, just keeping it real, you guys know I keep it real. The 8th house can also be the house of mooching. Okay, mooching and leeching off of people. Maybe you guys have had moochers, okay? Maybe you guys have had people borrow. It's a house of loans of other people's money, right? So that can, it's not just banks and all that stuff that we mentioned. No, it's also other people borrowing money from you. Maybe you've had people just borrow and you give and give because Neptune's in your second house. But now it's time to say no and cut that off. You know, cut that person or those people off that are just taking from you, Aquarius. And, you know, the second house is your self-worth. So it's like, no, I need to put up a boundary because I'm worth a lot more than that. I work hard for my money. So no. Okay. Or the 8th house, you know, it could be you borrowing from other people or maybe living off of other resources, you know, and now this full moon in the second is like, hey, Aquarius, now it's time for you to establish your own self financially. Okay. And let go of the other stuff. You could be working on, with all these planets in Virgo, working on clearing debts. And then on the opposite end is the second house, which is savings and, you know, just keep earning money and generating money and then getting those debts and loans paid off. Okay. So that's for Aquarius. Now for Pisces, Pisces sun, moon, or rising. This full moon is very special. It is in your sign, okay? So this is the moon in your first house along with Neptune, and then the sun in your 7th house, okay? So Mars is also entering your 7th house, Pisces. So this can be other people maybe challenging you in a more aggressive way. Pisces, we are some of the most gentle people on this planet. You know, Michael Jackson, our fellow Pisces moon and rising, he says, I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's Pisces all day, unless some of you guys have planets in Aries, but that's a totally different story. But just Pisces alone, we are lovers, we're not fighters. And then Mars opposing us, it's like, oh, really? Like, I just want peace. I just want peace. Like, I don't want anybody to come at me like that. But also, it could be you being a little bit more aggressive too. There may be some situations where you may have to stand up for yourself, and it's totally necessary, Pisces. I completely understand that, because Pisces people, like I said, unless they have some other feisty energies within them, Pisces energy, a lot of times we could be so like, you know, soft towards other people, understanding and forgiving of other people, that could be taken advantage of. And we don't really stand up and say anything because we're like, oh, well, I love all people and I understand they are who they are. But sometimes, though, Pisces, sometimes you need to stand up and let people know that they're wrong. They're treating you wrong or treating you badly or treating other people badly. You know, sometimes you may need to do that. So Mars in your opposite sign is going to do that. And then the sun is there. This is in your 7th house. This is, once again, relationships, one-to-one with other people. So Mars is also passion. So you guys could be maybe having a very passionate relationship with someone, and then you make a decision. Should I still be solo, which is the moon in your 1st house with Neptune? Should I still be solo and single, or should I give this relationship a chance? There's that axis there, okay? Maybe people are actually really attracted to you during Virgo season because your 7th house is lit up, okay? So maybe you're having a lot of prospects approach you and it's like, ooh, okay. Then you got to make a decision. Do I really want a relationship, or do I just want fun, or am I still going to be doing my own thing, or what? Because you guys still have Saturn in your 10th house of career and your public image and your reputation. So you've been a lot of Pisces have been very hard at work, okay? Like literal work, okay? And maybe you don't have time for a relationship. But with all of this seventh house stuff, people are just like, hey, what's up, Pisces? I noticed you noticing me. I just wanted to put you on notice. I'm just saying. But do you have the time, though? You have the time. I don't know. You got to figure that out, Pisces. But this full moon may definitely bring that type of decision to you to figure out. So it's all about relationships, boundaries between yourself and other people too, Pisces. That's always a Pisces thing, okay? But also, yes, it's more about relationships between you and other people. Big time, okay? So that's it for Pisces. So that was it for the full moon portion of this coffee talk, okay? So that was it for the horoscope portion, I should say. I already talked about everything. Also, we have the sun opposite Neptune next week in the next few days. The 4th or 5th, depending upon where you live, of September, sun opposite Neptune is also going to bring out some of this full moon stuff before the moon actually gets to its full moon point, okay? So even a few days before the 6th, we'll still be feeling this energy that I just talked about for every sign, because the sun will be in a direct opposition there. So yeah, boundaries between yourselves and others for everybody, actually. And try not to get swindled, try not to get deceived by other people. With the sun and Neptune opposition, if you meet somebody around this date, the 4th or the 5th, make sure you are seeing them for who they really are. Or maybe you should wait a few days before making a decision or conclusion about this person if it's something major like that, okay? Try to avoid situations, where you can get, like I said, swindled or robbed or stolen from or anything, you know? Protect your phones, your devices, your computers from viruses, because Neptune's energy is very invasive. It means like invasive viruses and stuff like that. Protect your health. Also with the sun opposite Neptune in these two signs that rule health for everybody. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be brought about before the full moon, a few days before. Okay, so now on to coffee talk. So we got some celebrity stuff to talk about today. And once again, they are viewer requests. And for those who are tuning out, thank you so much. I still love you if you don't want to hear about famous people and their birth charts and stuff. And don't forget to hit me up for a personal reading if you would like. My reader's page is below, okay? Now, for those who are sticking around for the coffee talk. So I'm going to talk about Cardi B and Louise Hay. So let's start with Louise Hay first, because she unfortunately just passed away a couple days ago. Sorry, my hair is like really getting on my nerves. I could see it right here in my peripheral, in my Cat Williams voice. He's a Virgo. And it's a little bit bothersome. Anyhow, Louise Hay, she unfortunately passed away a couple of days ago on the 30th of August. And, you know, honestly, I had to do a little research because I wasn't too familiar with her work, to be honest, guys. I know she's put out books and stuff, but I hadn't had a chance to really dive into her work. I'm a very busy working mom, and like a lot of that self-help and meditation stuff, like I am just too nervy for it, you know. But I did discover upon my research that she has a lot of audiobooks that are uploaded to YouTube. So if you guys ever want to check out her work there and just listen to it, then, you know, it's available there on YouTube. And I was listening to some of her stuff this morning to kind of get a feel for who she is and her energy and everything. And she has like these videos that, well, people uploaded the audio to video on YouTube of affirmations, positive affirmations. And it's funny and cute because I was listening to them with my 5-year-old son while we were getting ready in the mirror. And, you know, she would say, you know, you are a loving person. Your family loves you. And I would ask him those questions. Does your family love you? And then he would say, yeah, you know, and he would ask me some questions too that she was asking. And I'd be like, yeah, I do. Yeah. So it was really cute. But also, you know, talking about this full moon in Pisces, you know, the stuff that Louise Hay put out there, a lot of it is very like Pisces Virgo axis, because it's all about well-being, overall well-being, physical well-being, spiritual, emotional, mental well-being, from what I have discovered about her, because she teaches a lot about self-love, self-improvement, she actually went through a lot, this lady, okay? Like, I've been hearing all the stuff that everybody's been saying about her, you know, this nice stuff and everything. But you know what? She has gone through a lot. She went through a lot of stuff, okay? So, let me just tell you guys some stuff that this lady has gone through. Let me pull up her chart first. So I'm not going to be in the chat for a minute, you guys. But I'm going to pull up her chart and talk about some stuff with her really quick, okay? For Louise Hay. Hello. Hello. Okay. So let's talk about her chart really quick here. Let me bring it up. Okay, Louise Hay. Okay, so I pulled it up on Astro Theme. I think the time has been verified. It said it's verified from someone by memory, and I don't really know who that person is. I didn't research. So I guess we'll just go with this birth time, okay? So this is the chart of Louise Hay. And once again, she is the owner of Hay House Publishing. She helped publish books for people like Doreen Virtue, Esther Hicks, and Wayne Dyer. They're also motivational speakers, spiritual speakers. Now, this is what she went through in her lifetime, okay? She overcame cervical cancer, but before that, she was abused by her stepfather. She was raped as a teenager and had a pregnancy as a teenager and gave a baby up for adoption. She was a high school dropout. She did have one marriage that I read about, and there was infidelity. Her husband left her for another woman. And then later on, she did come down with cervical cancer, which she ended up beating and overcoming in the 1970s. And from what I read, it wasn't by traditional means either that she overcame it. She did a lot of other alternative therapies to get rid of the cancer. And that's what those experiences are what influenced her to start writing books. So she wrote her first book in 1976 called Heal Your Body. Okay. That was influenced by her experience with cervical cancer. Then it was published officially in 1984 as You Can Heal Your Life. And that's, I think, one of her biggest books to date. So let's look at her chart here. They have her as a Leo ascendant with Neptune in the first house. So Neptune in the first house, this definitely explains why she was all about the things she was about. I listened to someone who said they were very inspired by Louise Hay. And they said that one of the biggest things that they learned from her is about forgiveness. Like, forgiving others is like forgiving yourself, or it's really good for your own well-being. And Neptune energy, remember we talked about with the full moon in Pisces. Neptune and Pisces energy are all about forgiveness. So she had a lot of things to try to work to forgive in her life, okay? With all that abuse and all that stuff she went through. And then Neptune energy, Neptunian people are very sensitive to other people, very empathic, very empathetic, sympathetic, all of that stuff. So she really felt the pain of other people. She really couldn't stand to see other people suffer. So it was her life's work to help other people to not suffer. And also take a look at this, guys. Chiron, the wounded healer, okay, conjunct her midheaven, which is her career. So her career was all about healing other people. Isn't that beautiful? Now, on the negative side, with Chiron in the 10th and on the midheaven can show for someone is in early life, maybe they were abused by a father figure or by men or authority figures, or bosses could have really made them feel bad about themselves, okay? Or they could have had a bad reputation at some point. And it really damages their self-esteem and how they feel about themselves. And you know, it damages the way that they put themselves out there, their own image. Like, they just feel like they have low self-esteem in a way. So Chiron and the 10th people can really suffer in those ways. But the good thing is they can make that turnaround. You know, remember, it's the wounded healer. Those were her wounds. And how does she turn around and heal? By giving it to the world. This is the world seeing you, okay? So that was very important. Now she has, this is her 4th house. Well, it's the cusp is in Libra, but also Scorpio takes up a big part of it. And Saturn is there. Saturn is a bringer of hard lessons, okay? A bringer of difficulties. And this is early childhood. And unfortunately, the sign of Scorpio, the energy of Scorpio on a negative side, is associated with rape and, you know, early exposure to sexuality and stuff before you're really mature enough to be. And hard times within the family is Saturn in the fourth. Okay, so this actually birth time, it may actually be accurate. Now, she has Mercury here in the sign of Libra on the fourth house cusp. And see, the fourth house cusp, it's like the energy of Cancer, to where it's very nurturing and caring. So anyone who has Mercury here, they're going to speak in a way to where they really, you know what? I know a few people with Mercury in the fourth or on the fourth cusp or Mercury in Cancer. And to me, they speak like a sweet old grandma. You know, that's how they always speak. It's like a sweet old grandma that really cares about you. And, you know, so that's also why she was really great with guided meditation videos. I have another friend who has Mercury on the fourth house cusp in the sign of Cancer. And she also puts out guided meditation videos. And she's the only one I really like listen to. Her voice is so soothing, I swear, you know, and she does remind me of like a sweet old, she's not old, but she reminds me of a sweet grandmother that really cares, really wants you to be okay, you know? So that voice is so comforting. So that's what gave her that. And she's got a moon here in the fourth house too. So, you know, she's a very sweet person. Now, having a sun in the third house is publishing, or it's writing. The third house is writing, okay? And then publishing is more like the ninth. So the third house is writing. So she's definitely a writer. Venus here, it gives her creative ability to write, okay? And the sun is very focused on communication with others and writing, okay? Now she has a North Node in Cancer in the 12th house, and it's conjunct Pluto. Pluto is doing things that are kind of taboo or not of the norm. And she did do some things that kind of fall along those lines. I don't think her work was necessarily like traditional religious. You know, I think from what I observed of her briefly, it seemed like it's not like she was against that stuff. It was more like she's here to show people that you can tap into spirituality and stuff without having to follow some strict guidelines of like traditional religions. And I think that's what this North Node and Pluto in the 12th house of spirituality represents. But the North Node in Cancer in the 12th, yes, she was a very caring, nurturing individual, really cared for others. And then 12th house is spirituality. It's wellness, mind, body, and soul wellness. Now, when she passed, you know, there was just an eclipse on her Neptune. And I've seen people pass right after there was an eclipse or a full moon on their Neptune. And it's really like a release of themselves from this world. They were the people that I observed this from, they were pretty spiritual people. And, you know, it was them being called home to the spirit world. So you know, that's a beautiful part of this. So that is Louise Hay's chart. Okay, so yeah, so she, you know, it looks like she was a very, very, very caring person. Her work is very much appreciated by a lot of people. And I'm trying to find you guys in the chat again. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's the chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm just reading the chat really, really quick here. Any involvement in Hay House? For Louise Hay? Yeah, she was the creator of Hay House Publishing, from what I understand. Okay. Okay, so that was Louise Hay. Now let's get to, oh, and also, yeah, so, you know, reading up on her, check out her work. You know, you guys are here, so you're obviously into like spirituality in a way. So check out some of her work. I encourage you to do so, especially with this full moon in Pisces coming up. Maybe it's a good time for you guys to try out some of her guided meditations or her affirmations about wellness and health and overall well-being. So yeah, so definitely check her out. I encourage that. And I'm going to check more of her out too. I promise. Okay, so now on to Cardi B, another viewer request, Cardi B. So who is Cardi B? Well, first of all, her name is not really Cardi. Don't really ask me how to pronounce her real name. I'm usually good with pronunciations, but I always hear her say what her real name is, but I've never seen it spelled out to know how it's really said, how it's really pronounced. I think it's like Belcalis or something. I'm not completely sure. Sorry about that. But anyway, so Cardi B, who is she? Who is she? So Cardi B is, she became like a reality TV star. First, she started off as a person who became popular on Instagram. She would get on there and she would talk and just talk about whatever was on her mind randomly, like just being 100% raw with things, you know. So that's who she is. She used to be an adult entertainer, like an exotic dancer, as they call it. She used to be a stripper, okay? Like before she was in the spotlight like she is now. And she became famous on Instagram, very popular, and then she caught the attention of the Love and Hip Hop producers, and then they brought her on that show, and then she blew up even more. This is over the last like year or two though, okay? And then she started coming out with music, and now she has a single currently that has just gone gold. I heard that this morning. It just went gold. And it's like, how did she go from being this girl from the hood who was like not in the best lifestyle, not in the best like type of career, to now like climbing up this far? How did she get there? Okay. So let's take a look at her chart really quick. And yeah, she is very raw and ruthless. Yeah, she is in the way that she speaks and stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at Cardi B really quick here, and then we're going to sign off for this week, guys. Okay, so Cardi B. I don't have a birth time for her. There's no birth time on Astro Theme either, but I have watched videos to observe her, and let me just pull up her chart and tell you guys what I see and what I get from her. Okay, so let's go to screen share. Screen share. Hello. Okay, screen share. Okay, here we go. Start screen share. Okay. All right, so here is the chart of Miss Cardi B. So Cardi B, she is a Libra sun. She always talks about being a Libra too. When she it's funny though, because I don't think she fully is aware of her full birth chart, because because she always says, I don't know, is that a Libra thing? I don't know, it might be a Libra thing. And I'm just thinking, when she talks about fighting and stuff, that's what I hear. It's probably a Libra thing. And I'm just like, no, that's an Aries moon thing, girl, okay? You must not know your birth chart, but whatever. So she's an Aries, okay? She's an I'm sorry, she's a Libra. She's a Libra, and it's very apparent in her appearance. To me, she has a like Libras tend to have a distinctive nose to me. They have like a more slender, pointier nose. But yeah, I get the feeling that she is a Gemini rising, or she has some third house energy in her chart, or she's a Virgo rising or has sixth house energy. Because of her sense of humor, she's very mercurial, and she has a mercurial face to me too, from what I pick up. So yeah, she's super mercurial. And I just really think she might be a Gemini rising. Also, one time she was doing some live stream, and I actually watched it for a little bit. And I knew that day that the moon was in Gemini. And she was just like, all over the place, could not focus, could not pay attention. She was just like, I'm hungry, I'm bored, I miss my family. And that's all moon stuff, right? And in Gemini's easily bored. So she's like, I'm hungry, I'm bored, I miss my family. That's all she said the whole time. And I was like, wow. I was like, she must be a Gemini rising for real. So I think she may be a Gemini rising. If she were, that would put Mars in the second house. That would put Chiron in the third. That would put Jupiter and Sun in the fifth. And also, I heard her say that her father, like she described her father, that he was like a party man back in the day. He loved to party and all this stuff. And that is usually Leo energy, okay? And fifth house and Leo are very similar. So that tells me, oh, maybe her sun is in the fifth house. This is what I'm feeling here, okay? And then also I'm like, she has some Virgo stuff, and that would make sense if she were a Gemini rising, because that would put all this stuff in the sixth house, okay? Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. So Venus and Pluto right here, and in Scorpio, that's the taboo. And Mercury in Scorpio, see, this is why she speaks the way she does. Number one, she has an Aries moon that will just fire off anything that it says in a feisty, fiery way, okay? does not care. It'll fight. This is why she's quick to fight too. She has an Aries moon. I also see her wearing red a lot, which is Aries. Aries is red, okay, the color red. And I think people said it's also because of some association she has with people or whatever. But Aries moons usually can resonate with the color red. So also this Venus and Pluto right here, this is why she was able to get into the field that she was in of exotic dancing before she was famous online. Okay, it's because Venus and Pluto in Scorpio, yeah, that's that industry right there. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. And then Mercury in Scorpio, this is why she will just speak in a manner that a lot of people will find vulgar for being a Libra. Libras are usually very, very have great manners, and they just don't want to offend people. But this is really the strongest Libra energy she has is the sun. So this may be her expression, her appearance and everything, but the way she speaks is totally Scorpio. It's like, who else has Mercury in Scorpio? Eminem. And have you guys heard some of his music, some of his rhymes? He doesn't care. He says some really dark stuff, right? He says some really like, wow, I can't believe he said that. Like, I'll do this and that to you and cut your head off and all this crazy stuff, right? That's why she speaks like that too. Mercury and Scorpio, they speak in a darker, more taboo way. So this is why she talks like that. So now why? Somebody want to know, why is she blowing up right now? Why is she becoming famous? And some people are like, oh, she doesn't have talent. She's famous for nothing, whatever. Well, evidently people are gravitating towards her for a reason. Number one, this is why I feel she is. It's because Jupiter is currently in the sign of Libra, and she has her natal Jupiter in Libra. So this is her Jupiter return, and Jupiter is about opportunities, growth, expansion, and that's exactly what she's done. Jupiter entered Libra last fall of 2016, okay? And that's when we really, really started seeing more of her coming out with different projects and all this stuff and having interviews and everything, right? And now Jupiter is at about 20, I think Jupiter is at about 20 degrees. Let me see, here's my ephemeris. Jupiter is at 22 degrees of Libra right now, but Jupiter had been around the degree of her sun recently. It was, and then it went retrograde and then forward, but it's been hovering around there this year. This is why this year is when she really started to blow up and expand, which is Jupiter, okay, with her music career. And music is a Venus thing, and Venus, she has her Venus, she's a Venus rules Libra, okay, and so she's a Libra sun. So Jupiter on the sun and Jupiter return at the same time is definitely why she has blown up. But also, if my theory is correct about her and she is a Gemini rising, well, the 10th house for Gemini is Pisces, and Neptune has been up here, and Neptune rules music and movies and video and all that stuff. So maybe Neptune being up here could have caused that growth as well. And then the 11th house is popularity amongst people of the masses, the internet, and Uranus has been here in Aries. Okay, so this could be her suddenly being shot into fame amongst a lot of people by Uranus being in Aries. And also she has an Aries moon. We don't know the degree because we don't know her birth time, but Uranus has been transiting her moon. And people who have Uranus transits to their moon or to their sun or to an important angle or something in their chart, a lot of times they are like really, their lives are just totally, completely turned around and changed, okay? Like Uranus's energy is like the Tower card in tarot, or it's like lightning bolts, like just struck upon you suddenly to where you are like thrown into the shocking change of life, change of events. So Uranus on the moon will do that. And if she is a Gemini rising, it would be Uranus in the 11th house. So my prediction is, you guys, I don't think she's going anywhere. It doesn't matter who doesn't like her for what she's done or why she's famous or whatever. Jupiter is going to continue to progress into the sign of Scorpio over her Mercury. Okay. And Mercury rules speech and communication, but also rapping for rappers. Okay. So she's going to have Jupiter cross over that. So she probably will continue to have more hits, albums that come out, and all that stuff. And then Jupiter is going to cross over her Venus, okay? Venus rules money, and Venus also rules beauty. She may actually come out with some beauty products or some kind of feminine themed something to sell, okay? She may come out with that when Jupiter hits her Venus, okay? So I don't think she's going anywhere. Saturn has been on her north node too, and her north node is her life's purpose. Saturn has been helping her to work very hard, because Saturn is about work very hard on her life's purpose too, okay? And so, yeah, that's her chart. That's my theory on why she has blown up the way she has. That was Cardi. All right, so take care, guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.